My name is Karl. I remember the first time I drank, I think I was like 11 years old, and so that started the ball rolling. And then slowly, I started using other things like weed, marijuana. Then it went to cocaine, and then eventually it went to painkillers, and then it went to heroin because heroin was easier and cheaper. I knew at that age, at that young age, that alcohol was going to give me some sort of relief. And that's exactly what happened when I had my first drink of alcohol. It was all of a sudden I just felt okay in my own skin. The thing about heroin is once you start doing it on a daily basis, you depend on it. And I couldn't function without it. And I only had a little bit left that one day. My friend he was shooting with the IV, and he told me, he said, I know you only got a little bit left. You're not going to get high if you don't shoot it. And he shot me up for the first time. I think I was like 16, 17 years old when it started to get really bad, and I started getting arrested. So when I was getting arrested, they would force me to go to these counseling programs and meetings and stuff like that. And so I was introduced to that stuff at that age, and I knew I had a problem. And I think deep down inside I wanted to stop, but at the same time that desire to continue to use was so much greater than wanting to stop. And to be honest with you, I just wasn't ready. I'd gotten my second DUI when I was trying to quit using heroin on my own, so I just started drinking more heavily. But there was this huge sense of relief when I got pulled over that night because I knew that I had finally had the ability to stop. That's one thing I will say about relapse is it's the most awful thing that you can do as an addict. I had gone to the dentist, they told me I needed my wisdom teeth pulled out. And I remember actually getting excited about this because I knew that they were going to give me Percocet. My habit got so bad that I couldn't afford to continue to do it without selling drugs. In order to maintain my habit, I had to, I would get it down there and I would come back, and I was going down there every day, just so I could continue to keep my habit to where it needed to be, so I could function, so I could go to work, so I could be a father, so I could be a fiance at the time, so I could manage my life. And my life had become a complete train wreck at this point. I got arrested for having a firearm and the commission of a felony, and a bunch of really bad charges that night. And I had accomplished a lot of things through my sobriety before this, and I remember sitting in jail that night just thinking, what a mess. And I really just wanted to end it. I wanted to just kill myself because there was no way I could face all these charges. There was no way I could sit in prison for the rest of my life or however long they wanted to put me in there without seeing my son and my family. And I just wanted to die. So I figured out a way to bail out, and I bailed out. And that night I went to Baltimore, and my plan was to overdose. And so I went to Baltimore. I picked up as much stuff as I could get, and that night I tried to overdose, and it didn't work. I spent 28 days in Mountain Manor, and I got clean and sober at that point. I just needed to be willing to ask for help. I needed to be, to the point where the only thing that really mattered was just, for me to get clean.